أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا واعتدلوا سد الخلل. الله أكبر. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. استغفر الله. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم وزد عنهم وأكرم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا مزيدا دائما إلى يوم يبعثون وبعد فقال الله سبحانه وتعالى بعد أقول أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين. Alhamdulillah, we continue with the next surah, Surah Al-Balad, the city. And in this surah, this is a very powerful surah because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He summarizes the religion for us. Our belief regarding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that He is the knower of each and everything. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the ability to choose between right and wrong. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to mention the righteous people and their rewards, and those who are wicked, evil, and what will be their end fate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla wa ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again takes a qasam, and this time the qasam begins with the word la. Okay, we've already learned waw. Wa is qasam as well, so wal fajr, wal asr, والضحى والليل إذا يغشى, for example. Here it's with a lam, alif. So لا أقسم بهذا البلد, I do swear by this city of Mecca. Even though you, O Prophet of Allah, are subject to abuse in this city, meaning the greatness of this city, and by every parent and their child, meaning parent here refers to Adam alayhi salatu salam, and child, every single child of Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah is free from a family. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no wife, Allah has no children, Allah has no parents. Allah is free from this. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. Indeed, we have created humankind in constant struggle. Do they think that no one has power over them? Allah is talking directly to the Meccans, the pagans. Do they think that no one has power over them? Do you not fear Allah for your actions? Boasting, I have wasted enormous wealth. And we touched on this yesterday as well, that they used to boast and say, look, we can waste all this wealth and we're still rich, we have so much money. Do they think that no one sees them? Meaning Allah is the knower of everything. Allah is watching each and every action of yours. Have we not given them 2 eyes? Now Allah mentions His favors. We gave you 2 eyes so you can see the truth with this. A tongue and 2 lips so you speak the truth with it. You promote good. You tell people about goodness. You promote goodness. You forbid evil. A tongue and 2 lips, and shown them the 2 ways of right and wrong. And we've already spoken about the free will. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the ability to do wrong and to do right as well. Okay, which one we choose, we are going to be responsible for that. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on mentioning the challenging path of good, فَلَقْتَحَمَ الْعَقَبَةَ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْعَقَبَةُ فَكُّ رَقَبَةٍ أَوْ إِطْعَامٌ فِي يَوْمٍ ذِي مَسْغَبَةٍ يَتِيمًا ذَا مَقْرَبَةٍ أَوْ مِسْكِينًا ذَا مَتْرَبَةٍ ثُمَّ كَانَ مِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْمَرْحَمَةِ أُولَئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْمَيْمَنَةِ وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِآيَاتِنَا هُمْ أَصْحَابُ الْمَشْأَمَةِ عَلَيْهِمْ نَارٌ مُؤْصَدَةٌ. If only they had attempted to challenging the path of goodness instead. Allah is mentioning here that the path of goodness is not one that's going to be easy. It's challenging. But when there comes a need to work hard, man is reluctant. For example, giving sadaqah is not easy, departing from your wealth. Giving up your time, coming to the masjid, praying your salah, leaving your house, it's raining outside, it's cold, it's windy, you left your warm house, you've come to the masjid. Make an attempt. And this is what Aqaba is. Make an attempt. And what will make you realize what attempting the challenging path is? What is this path? It is to free a slave, which is the best thing a person could do, is to free a slave. A slave who has been captured, okay, and at times mistreated. What is his biggest dream? To be free. Free a slave. Or to give food in times of famine. When there's a famine, that is a time to get out your wealth and to help people. Don't keep it and say, oh, I'll give it next year. I'll give it the time after. To an orphaned relative. Or to a poor person in distress. And the ulama have mentioned what is the difference between the miskeen and what is the difference between the faqir. Okay? So we have the faqir who literally has nothing. And miskeen has something, but he's still living below the poverty line. Okay? And a person who gives sadaqah to a general person gets one reward. A person who gives sadaqah to a family member, they get two rewards. Why? Because the first reward is for giving sadaqah, and second is for giving it to your family. You are tying kinships. You are tying a kinship with your family. And this is why it's recommended, and the ulama have mentioned, when you are giving your zakah, when you are giving your sadaqah, you must look at your family first. You know, there's that saying, charity begins at home. Yes? And if every person did that, then subhanallah, a lot of the poverty we could get rid of. Everyone looks after their family. If we didn't do this, let's say, for example, we're living in a town and there's a lot of poor families. Now, if one person decides to give it to this one family because they've got more children, he gives it to that family because there's a lot of young children. And generally people have a soft spot for that family. Everyone starts giving that family. What's going to happen with all of the other families then? Nobody will give them. Yeah? So if everybody gives to their family, there's a better chance that excess wealth, zakah, sadaqah, will be fairly given out. It would be fairly distributed. Take this away, then people will just give whoever they wish. So your zakah must go to your family first. In this family, your parents and grandparents are not included, your children and grandchildren are not included. Anybody above the family tree directly and directly below the family tree, they are not included. From the side, you can, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, nephew, niece, you can give them. Okay? But above and directly down, you are not allowed to give zakah. That is your responsibility, to take care of your parents, to take care of your children. So charity begins at home first. And above all, to be one of those who have faith and urge each other to perseverance and urge each other to compassion. These are now the quality attributes of the believers. This is what they do. Okay, this is what they do. And then these are the people of the right. As for those who deny our signs, they are the people of the left. So those who are the righteous, they persevere. This is what they promote as well. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. they are the people of the right. As for those who are wretched, who deny our signs, Allah says these are the people of the left. The fire will be sealed over them. Meaning not only will they be in hellfire, but the fire will be sealed. There will be no way of coming out. We move on to the next surah, which is also very, very powerful. It's a Makkan surah. Allah mentions Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا جَلَّاهَا وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا وَالسَّمَاءِ وَمَا بَنَاهَا وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا طَحَاهَا وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. Okay, here's a little test for you. Okay, Furqan, this is a little test for you, Muhammad. I want you to listen. Okay, have you ever played Who Am I? Yeah? Okay, listen, Muhammad. Come to the front, Furqan, come to the front. Okay, who am I? I am a mother. I am a mother, but was not born. Sit down. I am a mother, but was not born. Nor married, carried, meaning was pregnant, but did not give birth. Who am I? Maryam, she had a father and mother, Maryam. She had a mother and father. I'm going to repeat. I am a mother, but was not born, meaning I have no parents. I did not marry, but I was pregnant, but I didn't deliver. Ji?
Hawa.
No, Hawa has a father like Adam, and then she got pregnant and she had children. The clue is in the surah. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا. What is the surah about? Ji?
والشمس.
Well done. Anybody? Shall we leave this for your homework? Ji Muhammad?
Allah.
No, not Allah. Ji? No, it's not the earth as well. Okay, it will come in this surah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this surah, He takes qasam on 11 things. Before I mention the theme of the surah, I'll mention the theme and then from this you will get your answer. The theme of this surah is regarding the tribe of Thamud. And Allah sent to them a prophet by the name of Saleh. With Saleh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ji? Okay, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sent a miracle to the people of Thamud. What was that miracle? Ji? What was the miracle? Camel. Yes? Who am I? This is a camel. Listen. I'm a mother, but was not born. The camel was created from the mountains. Allah created the camel from the mountains. I'm a mother, but was not born. I didn't marry, but was pregnant, but I didn't deliver. She did not deliver the baby because by that time the people of Thamud had killed it. Does that answer your question now? Yeah. It was a camel. Yeah. This was a miracle of the Salih alayhi salatu wasalam. They asked for a miracle, they asked for a sign. They said, if you're a prophet, show us a sign. Okay? So from the sign, the miracle, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the mountains, He created for them a camel. Okay? He created for them a camel. And that camel was a pregnant she-camel. And Allah said to the people that make sure you take care of this camel. But instead, Allah said, feed the camel and take care of it. Instead, they denied it, they neglected it, and they killed it. And they were punished for this. But there are other lessons we're going to learn from this surah. Allah takes a qasam on 11 things. How many? 11. So the summary of this surah is, the theme is this, and that Allah's punishment also extends to those who harm animals. Who did they harm? Did they harm a human? Who did they harm? A camel, an animal, and they were punished. Allah destroyed all of them. So you're not allowed to harm any animals. You've seen that clip that went viral, the Imam in Algeria. He's leading the Taraweeh and a cat jumps on his shoulders. Yeah? And what does he do? He carries on praying and then he touches the cat and the cat kisses him. And the cat is very clever because before the Imam goes into ruku, it jumps off. The cat knew as well the Imam is stretching the last word, now he's going to ruku. And if that was somebody else, imagine I generally wouldn't do that, but imagine if an Imam was a bit more aggressive, he would have probably in Salah grabbed it, twisted it and threw it. Yeah? Yeah. We know with that footballer at West Ham United who kicked the cat. What was his name? Zuma. Yeah, Zuma, and that went viral. Yeah? And people are saying he should be fined and he should be suspended because he kicked the cat. Yeah? And this Imam is praying and he carries on. He's not even disturbed. He's so engaged with Allah, he does not even open his eyes to see who's jumped on him. It would have been a rat. Could have been a rat as well. He didn't know it was a cat. In fact, if you see that clip, the Imam looks blind. The Imam looks blind. So the Imam just carries on and the cat kisses him twice and then it leaves. So kindness to animals is very important. And we learn from this surah that they were harsh towards the camel. They killed it, Allah destroyed all of them. So anyway, let's carry on. Allah takes an oath on 11 things. What are they? وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا. By the sun and its brightness. Okay? Iman is something that brightens your life. Yes? وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا is what brightens your day. And the moon as it follows it. And the day as it unveils it. And the night as it conceals it. And by heaven and the one who built it. And the earth and the one who spread it. And by the soul and the one who fashioned it. Then with knowledge of the right and wrong inspired it. Successful indeed is the one who purifies their soul, and doomed is the one who corrupts their soul. Okay? So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions that He has given us ability and He has showed us two paths. One is a good and one is a bad one. Every human is born upon fitrah, and fitrah means that by default Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created everyone to be able to differentiate between the right and wrong. You don't have to be a Muslim to differentiate between right and wrong. Every person is born upon fitrah. كُلُّ بَنِي آدَمَ يُولَدُ عَلَى الْفِطْرَةِ. The Prophet ﷺ said every child of Adam is born upon fitrah. And then later on they follow their desires. Meaning that sometimes, their parents will take them away from Islam. Every child is born as a Muslim. But if they belong to Hindu family, Sikh family, Christian family, then as they grow older, their parents will take them onto that path. But fitrah also means here that you don't have to be a Muslim to know what is right and wrong. Okay, for example, not killing, not stealing, not lying, not abusing, not insulting. You don't have to be a Muslim to know this. You have to be a human to know this. You have to be a human to know killing is wrong. You have to be human to know lying is wrong. You have to be human to know stealing is wrong. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has created everyone upon fitrah. These are universal morals that we should know. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to mention that whoever takes the good path, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Okay, aflaha, by the way, comes from the root words fa, lam, ha. And falah in Arabic means a farmer. A farmer. What does a farmer do? He works hard all day, okay, and then he enjoys the fruits that come out at the end. Okay? So they work hard every single day, and then there's a season of harvest, they enjoy the food, or the fruits and the vegetation. Allah is saying, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. The successful is the one, zakkaha, who purified himself, who struggled against the evil desires within himself, the evil desires all around. He is the one who is successful, and doomed is the one who didn't. Okay, who did not do this. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on now to mention the story of Qawm Saleh. كَذَّبَتْ ثَمُودُ بِتَغْوَاهَا إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها. Thamud rejected the truth out of arrogance when the most wicked of them was rose to kill the she-camel. But the Messenger of Allah warned them, do not disturb Allah's camel and her turn to drink. Still they defied him and slaughtered her, so their Lord crushed them to their crime, for their crime, leveling all to the ground. He has no fear of consequences. So when they killed, Allah crushed them and they became level with the ground. Also in this were people who were not directly at fault. Not only did those who killed the camel get destroyed, but those who directly did not kill the camel, they got destroyed as well. Does anybody know why? They didn't stop. This is a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and Aisha mentions that the Prophet ﷺ says that when the punishment will come on everyone, including the righteous as well, so-called righteous people who saw the crime, but they didn't stop it. So these people, they saw every single day that this camel was being tortured. They were persecuting it. They won't allow it to drink. But they didn't stop it. So Allah destroyed them as well. So when we see something is wrong, it is our duty to stop the evil. Okay? Why are we the best of the people? Because we are people who promote good and we forbid evil as well. Okay, we'll continue with Surah Al-Layl tomorrow because there's virtues of Bilal radiyallahu anhu in the surah. And Bilal's story is very sad and it's a very happy one as well. He's one of the greatest companions. And inshallah, because we're going to cover a bit of who Bilal was and some of his virtues, we will cover that tomorrow inshallah. We'll have question and answers. Now. Yeah.
Now that camel was being by the time there is no other camel.
There was?
When the camel that we talk about
Yeah.
was being killed, and then there is no other camel by then. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it didn't give birth.
So because I'm saying the camel that you are talking about
No.
has no mother,
No mother, yeah.
and pregnant.
Yeah. So it has no mother, meaning Allah created it from the mountains.
Yes.
Okay? And it was a pregnant she-camel. But wasn't given a chance to give birth because it was killed. And this is from the miracles of Allah. That He created from mountains a camel.
So when the camel has been completely abolished,
Yeah. How come the camel came up?
yeah, because is it that it's another creation of Allah, another camel, like camel horses and all those stuff? Because the camel is gone,
Yeah.
and that camel would have given birth, and so that we have so many of those.
Yeah. Okay, no, but I understand where you come from, but there were already camels existing. They asked for a miracle. And yes, and they asked for the most trickiest miracle. They said, okay, if you're a true prophet, let's make them, what's the most impossible thing that can happen? Okay, from these mountains, we would like to see a camel come out. A camel being born from these mountains. Like, that's impossible. It's like me saying to you that, like, let's do a miracle, like, from this wall there should come out a cat. It's impossible. But Allah made it happen. Allah made it possible. So that they believe. But what did they do? They continued to disbelieve. Not only did they disbelieve, they ended up killing the camel as well. Yeah, yeah. Remember the people of Thamud, they were from North Arabia. They were from North Arabia. And that's where they got destroyed. So the camels were there all the time. They knew camels. So then logically what came to their mind was, okay, camels are really big, and can you make it come out of a mountain? Allah said, this is Allah we're dealing with. Allah can make the absolute impossible become possible. Yeah, yeah.
And you mentioned something like 10 billion from home. When you are from at least maybe or family and it is better. Before you give charity outside, you give it at home. How about that?
Zakah is included. Your zakah and your sadaqah. Remember, zakah, sadaqah, like I said, you can give it to your family, but there are certain family members you're not allowed to give it to. You can't give zakah to your parents because you are responsible financially for your parents. You can't give zakah to your children because you're responsible for them as well. Okay? So when we're talking about zakah or sadaqah to family, we're talking about the people who come on the side of the family tree. So your brothers, if your brother is poor, give him zakah. If your sister is poor, give her zakah. If you got nieces and nephews abroad who are poor, they're in a very bad state, give them zakah. You got uncles and aunties, give them zakah. If you don't find anybody from your family, like from your cousins as well, second, third cousins, then go out and find the most needy and give them zakah. Alhamdulillah. And your clothing is, subhanAllah, beautiful. Yeah. MashaAllah. Yeah. MashaAllah. Yeah. Yeah. You are indebted to your parents. Why would you give them zakah? And not only that, if that was the case, people would make a business out of it. People would, if somebody, let's say, for example, very rich person, and his zakah came to £20,000, if he gives it back to his father or his children, that money is being invested back in his family. So it's not gone anywhere. You understand? He'll give it to his parents or his children. They'll put it back in a business or whatever his, profession is. So zakah has to leave your house. And generally, you live with your children and your parents and your grandparents and your grandchildren. So these people you're not allowed to give to. Anybody out, you can give them from your family. And you get 2 rewards. One for the charity and the second for giving it to your family. Because then if you look after your family members, they will always be on good terms with you. Do you understand? Even if you're not on good terms with somebody, I heard this from the scholars, if you're not on good terms with somebody, and you try to make friends with them, and you're trying to reconcile, and they're not listening, or they don't want to, then you should give sadaqah on their behalf, and make dua to Allah that Allah softens their heart. And maybe you go back to them, they might listen, and they'll